Alright, this is a demo review of Biz on Swiftwater. We're just going to go ahead and take a look at what his decisions are, like what he does to support his team on both offense and defense. See if we can probably speed this up a little bit. Alright, so right off the bat, doing a pretty good job of doing what he's supposed to be doing. Just staying on the cart, getting it pushed forward. There's really not a whole lot he's supposed to be doing right now. Eats a pipe, but that's alright. As long as he gets that cart pushed up, then he's doing his job. Helps fight off the spy pretty well. Protecting the sniper, that's smart. So ideally your scout should be here with you. I'm not really sure what he's doing, but from the brief little instance that I saw, it's not like he's really doing anything else other than okay, there he is. Yeah, the scout should be on the card like 100% of the time. If anything, you should be the one who like goes to spawn to like build up a tally or something, an entrance. Alright, so it looks like the enemy team just gave up first, as they should. And you're still alone on the cart, so this is just something your scout should be doing more. He looks like he's just ahead for like no reason. Looks like you guys are getting a lot of decent uh, picks here, so okay, yeah. So the cart should be pushed through tunnel. And your team should already, judging by those picks, should have had a decent hold on second, but it looks like that's not the case, which is alright, I guess. So once you get the cart pushed up to a point where you can't really push it up anymore, you're gonna want to just try and help your flank the best you can. No, that's alright. You're not gonna win those all the time. Alright, I hope you called that. Uh, I don't know why, but in competitive, the NG death cam, like he's just stuck on his mini all the time, so it gives you a lot of opportunities to call stuff like that, like really early, so that your sniper can or one of your players can react to it. Alright, so looks like you guys managed to cap second, which is good. Um, you really shouldn't be going in there by yourself with your sniper, especially because you don't really know what's in there. If you kind of just walk in there like without really knowing what's gonna like be there to stop you, then you're kind of just throwing your life away for like no reason. I also usually like to prioritize upgrading my telly here, just because it's quite a walking distance, and it can be really tedious for some of your players who need to get there fast. And since it has a big ammo pack right there, you can just upgrade it and then upgrade it again. Because there's really not much else you can do here except wait for your team to create some space. So it looks like your sniper killed their sniper, so you guys should be uh, able to spam some more. But your demo walks out alone and ends up paying the price for it. So it looks like you guys are just kind of going in with no reason to be going in. You have no demo, and a couple of your players were down, including your sniper. But it looks like that gun is distracted, so you're doing this is like a smart choice here that you're doing, which is getting on the card, but looks like your team backed out, which is unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like your combo is just like staggering really hard, and that's like stopping you guys from being successful, as well as your flank. Like, probably the biggest issue I've already seen so far is you guys just all dying one at a time, just taking stupid fights when you shouldn't be. Alright, so what you were doing there was actually pretty, like, decent, but the problem was your team wasn't there to support you. So if your heavy had continued pushing in from that other side of IT, then you probably would have been able to kill that demo and maybe the sniper. Even if you died, that would still be a really, really good trade, because that means you guys could be able to get the card in without getting pressured too hard. Okay, nice job tracking that spy. Alright, so it looks like you guys are in right now. Right now, you should be on the cart. Yeah, don't worry about focusing on those picks. It would have been ideal if you did kill that heavy, but it's alright. But the cart's like way too far back for you to afford like just taking unnecessary fights. But it looks like your team managed to get a lot of picks here on third, so they should be able to get forward pretty easily here. Looks like Shiloh's already in, so your teammates should already be up there with him. Hopefully, he doesn't die unnecessarily here. So yeah, again, this is really one of those parts of the game where you really don't have to worry about your life too much, and you can afford to just be like dodging spam and just standing on the cart. Ooh, that was lucky. So you guys have a demo pick already, and that's really good, and a sniper pick. So this is like the perfect opportunity for you guys to be in. I don't know why you guys are showing them too much respect. And now your demo is dying. So you guys, and you guys had Uber too. So it looks like you guys waited too long. Just like even though the Ubers were even, you guys still had like really good picks on them. Usually that's enough for like to warrant an Uber trade. See now their demo's up, and he's like destroying you guys, and you walked in a little too late. Now the heavy shredding you. So that's not really not so much of a problem with you particularly as an engineer, but it's more so a problem with the rest of your team just not being able to get in there and allowing you space to push the cart. So a lot of their players just got in for like no reason. So now they're down 3, and your sniper's gonna come up in like a couple seconds. So really, a lot of this is just an issue of you guys like. So it looks like you're getting some space here with your mini sentry. That's smart. Yeah, even if they keep getting focused down, just keep spamming them. It'll work eventually. I think you kind of got out unnecessarily there. Even if you don't have metal, you can still like walk forward with your shotgun and like just DM everything. I think you should be staying on the cart here, because as long as you're standing on the cart, they won't be able to like get any like decent spam on you, and so you'll be able to just push it up no problem unless they like actually go out of their way to focus you. So here you're just walking forward like unnecessarily because your team like pretty much had that in the bag, and that time could have been spent you just standing on the cart, and they'd have to direct more resources to stopping that. Right now, you guys should be on the cart. Okay, good. That soldier should be dealt with. Nice. But right now, yeah, you should be continuing to just get time on the cart, get it down there as fast as you can. Usually having a mini sentry closer, as close down to the bottom as you can, really helps, because by the time the cart gets down to that level, they're gonna have to start jumping on it to stop it. And the mini will it's just gonna be free damage pretty much. I honestly, personally like to go with like a level like 2 or something, just because it has more health and like fires faster. But honestly, a mini's fine. right now, this your next couple actions kind of just rely on uh, you and the rest of your team capitalizing on a bunch of picks that they get. Let's see, I think I lost you. Where'd you go? There we are. So yeah, right now you can just be edging the card here. Looks like you guys actually managed to get it in. Oh, no. All right. Yeah, that's see right there is like a really good reason why you'd have like a mini sentry like around this area like right here. Because now that they've all dropped down on the card, they'd just be or like a level 2 would also be really good because they'd just be taking like a shitload of damage uh from the gun. And the heavy wouldn't be able to just be standing here like uncontested. And now that their medic is down here, like, oh, okay, looks like your spy got it. But for like for future reference, yeah, um, as if they're heavy and medic are just down here, this is like the most free like kills you can possibly have as a team. So let's watch your defense as you are on fire. Okay, so right off the bat, it looks like you're going for an exit that goes to second maybe or to first. No. All right, so it looks like you got the right idea here, but ideally, so first is considered a throwaway point. I'm sure you probably know that. So usually what you'd want to do instead is put an entrance like right around here or somewhere easily accessible for you or your teammates, and then keep the exit where you put it so that when it comes time for you to back out at first, you can just grab your gun and then just put it like, and then just take the teleporter and you can just stick it up on this platform. I also saw you running Eureka effect, but I noticed you switched off of it, which was kind of weird to me. Not that it's like immediately better than the stock wrench, but it's actually pretty helpful on a map like Swiftwater, where you know your life is actually relatively important. I also think your gun is somewhat needlessly aggressive here. Right now, it's really running the risk of getting killed when there really isn't a reason for it to be, just because this point isn't really something you have to hard hold. Like I already also noticed that your teammates are like super aggressive, which like again can be punished really easily on a map like on a point like Swiftwater first. All right, so you picked a really good time to just get out. That was smart. So this isn't necessarily like an ineffective spot. It's actually quite good, but I personally prefer to put it further down the platform, like on this bigger like little thing here, because when they Uber in, usually it's gonna be from here or from like one of these like these entrances. If the gun's here, it's gonna be a lot harder for them to focus on like both you and your gun and your combo, because they'd be kind of forced to be fighting a battle on two fronts. And so when they come in, they'll have to choose to be fighting either you or your gun, or either you and your gun or your combo. So it looks like they just sent in a little sack wave here to try and force your medic, which I guess that failed, which is good. So you're doing all you can right now, which is good. Um, I know this is kind of uneventful, because it's a bit of a downtime. Hopefully you saw that spy flash. Okay, good, you did. Yeah, usually if the soldier likes to spam my gun a lot, I'll just reposition it. And the enemy team's doing a really poor job of focusing your gun here. They kind of just went in by themselves, that combo did. And I guess they're paying the price for it. Yeah, so once they start to get that cart edge closer to the tunnel, it gives you a lot. You're gonna have a lot of better time wrangling it and just denying them that space. That's something I see a lot of NGs actually neglect doing. So the fact that you're doing that really uh, really shows that you know what you're doing. So that's another example of why you'd want to build the gun a bit further to the left. Just if the heavy just looks at it right there, it's pretty much gonna melt instantly. But further back, you have a chance to like wrangle it and like fire back. But it looks like the rest of your team died anyway, so I guess it's not a big deal. And you got out alive, which is also good. So right now, you really should have run to respawn and just get metal for a gun. Um, Judging by how fast the card's moving now, even though they just recently capped, I feel like you can't really afford, you don't really have the time to put up a level 3, and I'd recommend switching to minis here. Minis in general are just really good on Swiftwater defense, on third and fourth especially, just because it allows your combo more freedom to rotate and do as they please, because they don't have to be, like, anchored in one place trying to support you and your gun. So right now you're kind of just wandering around not really doing anything, and looks like you're gonna end up dying here. Yeah, it looks like it. But you guys kind of just gave that point up for free by staggering a lot of players and just dying to a bunch of dumb stuff because you were out of position. But you somehow managed to kill the medic? Alright. Alright, so somehow you guys are managing to hold this. Alright, never mind. Yeah, you don't want to die to this. So it looks like, again, you're like really far forward. Like you're like the only player who's forward here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, this is actually a pretty solid gun spot. Bit too passive in my opinion, especially considering where their team is. They're all still like really far back, like clumped up in this choke. I think your combo is just again showing them a bit too much respect. But it looks like they're finally coming in now, and your medic died with ad, so that's pretty much this point, if assuming they don't walk forward. Yeah, so this is usually when the enemy team has a lot of momentum like they do here. It's usually better to just stick with minis, pretty much up until last point, because usually on the last point, uh, it's a lot easier for you to get a gun up. This is a pretty good spot. I'd like to usually put it between these two little things. I don't know, I guess cylinders, um, just because it watches more of the main area. Like the sniper could have been denied pretty much instantly. It would have been taken a lot more damage too, if the gun was here. But this is fine too. Oh, looks like the spy gets your med. That's unfortunate. Um, yeah, that was just your teammates just not being aware. Yeah, so there's not a whole lot you can do right now other than just pray that your team is able to hold them back as much as possible. I think you're actually pretty forward here. Like you're way too close to your gun, and yeah, you're gonna end up dying. So yeah, never ever put yourself in a corner like that because that will definitely get you killed, like without a doubt. But it looks like their entire I don't know what the hell just happened. Their entire team just died. So just consider yourself lucky that that happened because otherwise that would have been game over. They didn't just die magically. So usually when the gun is this close, or when the card is this close, I like to put my gun up, my mini up like right here, because it still watches like pretty much most of me, and I think up until like right around like here. And it's a little harder to get to, because if it's right here on the ledge, you can just like just shoot a rocket at it. But here, they have to go more out of their way to shoot at it. Yeah, well now somebody has to be standing on the card. Your heavy has to be pretty much standing on it right now, otherwise this spy is just gonna, yep. So it's good that you made that executive decision to just drop it. That was really smart. But right now somebody has to be standing on it. That heavy, he's like not in position because the spy can just walk in and decloak on it. Yeah. Used on it, which is smart, but have Uber really soon, and this is probably gonna be game. This looks like your medic got caught out there. Uh, right now you have to. Your cart is the number one priority. You really can't be anywhere else right now. You have to be looking at the cart and denying it. Uh-oh, yeah. Looks like I don't know who just capped it, but uh, yeah. I guess that's pretty much it. Um, so I guess overall, you didn't like you did fine. You were pretty much in position for the most part. A lot of it was just your team in general, just staggering a lot, not really capitalizing on a few things, so you weren't able to get in a lot. But I feel like you should have played more offensively when you were playing on defense. There were a lot of times where you guys were just dead a lot, and you couldn't really capitalize on picks or space. You guys were at a lot of disad. So I guess that's more of a team thing instead of a you thing. So, but overall, yeah, you did fine. That was a pretty all right game coming out of you, man. Good job. Thanks for watching.